welcome back to another episode of MSL Lead Chronicles, where leaders learn from leaders. I'm Mary Morton, and along with my buddy Chad Fellers, we have casual talk about the challenges and successes in medical affairs with the most exciting and impactful professionals in pharma. As always, we have another great one for you today, so stick around.
Hello and welcome back to another episode of MSL Lead Chronicles, where leaders learn from leaders. I'm your host, Chad Fellers, along with my nifty sidekick, Mary Morton. How are you, Mary?
I'm doing terrific. How are you doing?
I am doing well. I am ready for, I guess by the time this actually drops, we'll be in daylight savings time. I cannot wait for more light to be out when I get done with work so I can actually do some fun things outside. How about you?
Oh, I know that means golf. I did not realize it was this weekend.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I knew it was coming up, but it makes me very happy because my happy place is in the yard, doing yard stuff. And so that means I have more time to work in the yard.
Yeah.
While I watch the golfers going by.
It's very therapeutic, very therapeutic. Mm-hmm. Well, apologies on behalf of any golfers that may hit a golf ball in your backyard. I was on hole 9 the other day and the other weekend and accidentally hit my drive, and it actually hit a house, and a guy actually came out and actually yelled at me saying, why? I mean, next time can you hit the fairway? And I was like I would actually do this on purpose, but nevertheless. Anyway.
Well, I've never had anybody hit the house, but they come in the backyard, and so they're kind of around the corner so I can actually, if I'm there when it drops, I can get to the ball before they even come around the corner in the golf cart. And I may have a couple of times picked up the ball and thrown it with all my might onto the fairway.
Oh, that's nice of you.
Well, I do it to kind of see how they react, because, they'll come around on the golf cart and they'll just, they know it came into my yard, or they know it came in this direction, and they're like, I could have sworn it was over here. And
so maybe one time you should actually lay down and have the golf ball right beside you and not move. That would be awesome.
I will totally do that.
That would be awesome.
That's a great idea. I may do that this afternoon.
Well, hey, yes. I mean, yeah. So listeners, just another tip if you want to pull a prank. So I'm full of those types of things. But we're excited because we want to talk about something that I know a lot of people in the network in medical affairs have been watching pretty closely and getting ready for, and that is MAPS America's 2026 annual meeting. So, unfortunately, I'm not going to get a chance to make it this year. I'm really bummed about that. Yeah, I know I am, because I looked at the agenda and it is packed. And it is really a picture of kind of where things are heading. Everything from the, a few years ago, the 2030 vision for medical affairs and all of these conversations.
That's 4 years away.
I know. But there's so much that's going to be discussed. I thought it would be, or we thought, the royal we. Mary and I thought it would be a great idea just to really highlight. We're not going to go through everything, to be clear, and there's a lot of great things. And just because we may not mention all of them does not mean that they're not worth checking out or of importance. We think about some things that just really stood out to us. So let's just jump into an example of this, right? So AI, it's everywhere. Focus on evidence generation, discussion about medical affairs, how that we define our value. But there was one session that jumped out right away, and it was AI and medical affairs, a debate between the early adopter and the cautious skeptic, with AI weighing in.
Yeah, I mean, I think the title alone kind of lets you know a lot about the moment we're all living in right now.
Yeah, exactly. So today I thought it would be interesting maybe to walk through some of these sessions that stood out to us and talk about what they might signal about where medical affairs is going next. Because when you step back and look at the full agenda, there really are some clear themes that are emerging. So like our traditional form, we thought.
Contraire, mon frere.
What's that? No. Oh, what's contraire?
Well, we can't go forward without the rapid fire questions.
Oh my
You didn't
goodness.
think I wasn't going to ask you
I did not
rapid
think
fire.
about
Come
that.
on
Okay,
now.
Mary. All right.
You knew I was going to. Okay.
Fair
All
enough.
Right. So, and it's going to be fun. Okay.
Okay.
But not tough. Okay. And they'll be quick. Like no explanation necessary.
I don't have to share the why. I don't have to share the why.
You can. I know you're the why guy, but okay.
Okay.
Best conference city in the United States.
I would have to say. I'd have to say San Francisco.
I haven't been to a conference in San Francisco in a long time. Okay, that's a great one. All right. Worst airport for flight connections.
Little Rock.
Okay, that was a little too obvious.
Oh, I don't like DFW. I've made no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I don't like the idea of having to get on a shuttle and then go around. It's not all connected in one thing. So you can't just run or whatever from terminal to terminal. You have to get on a monorail. It could be closed, all this kind of stuff. Tight deadlines just doesn't work. Atlanta has always been my go-to, even though because it's all connected down below, even though it's extremely busy.
So if you fly through Dallas, you probably have to go through Terminal B to go back to Little Rock.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. But they're at least they're remodeling that one. They're putting more stuff in there. Okay.
Fair enough.
So this next pair of questions about conference swag.
Okay.
So what is the most useless conference swag that you've seen in recent times? It's like, what is this? Why do I need this?
I think it was like an umbrella, plastic cover type of thing that you would put on in case it rained. Like,
so it's a cover for the umbrella.
Yes, cover for the umbrella. Like if it comes in, like it's wet and you want to store it or something like that.
Oh, okay, all right.
I mean, it could be.
They basically have those when you walk into Target for free.
Target, I know. Okay, I know. So it's not really that value add to me. Mm-hmm. I mean, at least give a koozie or something like that for debriefs afterward. But hey, what do I know?
Well, I'm asking you because I think you know. Okay, so what has been like your favorite swag you've gotten lately?
Oh, that's a good question because they're all pretty similar. I mean, it really is. It could be either a magnet. It could be one of those little I do like the little backpack type things that the little cheap ones that have the drawstring, et cetera. That you can throw a few things around. I like those. I don't like the big bags either, though, that you can carry all your Congress materials and stuff. I mean, just for me, I just throw it in the backpack. I mean, being in the field all the time, you're always carrying. Some people carry a man bag, like a Merce, I guess, or backpack, those types of things. So, yeah. So I think I would have to say the little backpacks are probably the most usable, at least from the conference swag. How about you? Okay. What about you? You've gone to several ones and you give out swag too. I didn't even think about from a vendor standpoint. I was thinking about just from the conference in general.
Oh, nothing like vendors and stuff like that. I have one in my hand about to show you, but this is one of my favorite ones that we give. And everybody looks at it and they're like, what in the world is that? It's called a tech taco. So it snaps closed. And what it does,
all these cords that are behind
fold up all your cords for your laptop or whatever. I don't even have an example to use. Oh, here. This one little thing. And just, wrap them all up and you put them in one little place. And it just makes life so much easier. I think that may be my favorite one that we give away. But here's my favorite one that I've gotten at a conference lately. Aside from chapstick, I can always use a chapstick. Is this. So,
plug in.
Shameful plug of H1. But if you don't know what this is, it is a screen cleaner. And it's got like an alcohol spray. So you spray your screen, and then
Oh,
this is the thing you can. Oh my gosh! If you ever see these,
get one. That's genius.
I have, I have, I've, I've gotten one every year, and I guess you can refill the alcohol and use it forever. Anyway,
Nice.
relentless. This is great.
Nice. Awesome. Awesome.
Okay.
All
Now
right.
on with your
Thank you for the Fast
original
and
programming.
Furious. Yes. Thank you for the Fast and Furious. So, as tradition, we like to start with key takeaways. And yes, this is a heavily, it's a maps focus conversation. So, let's just get started. Okay. All right. So, first one is AI is everywhere. We already know that, but it's literally packed into this agenda. Even if it's not in the title, you know it will be in the content in most of these sessions. So, AI is everywhere is the first takeaway.
Yeah. Mine that I wanted to share is Chad's prophecy that he's been
Ooh.
talking a lot about.
Okay.
Like always, is coming to pass. Medical affairs is truly being viewed and, more importantly, valued as a strategic pillar and strategic business partner in within their companies. Totally believe that, and you see that in the agenda.
Yeah, that sounds familiar to my mission statement that I wrote a few years ago, Mary. I like it.
Yep.
I like it. The third one that comes to mind, Mary, is leadership and talent development are major priorities. And within that, arming your teams with the best capabilities for KOL engagement and value creation for the entire enterprise is essential. I think that really can even bleed into the first one, right? With AI, or what I just talked about how can you have these capabilities to maximize these different things. I know that it goes way beyond that as well too. But that's the third takeaway I had. So why don't you kick us off? I think we're going to talk a little bit about the different tracks that stood out to us. So I'll turn it over to you to get us going.
Yeah. So the first track in order on the little handy dandy. Yeah, I'm old. I have paper. And the first track is strategy. So let's start with the strategy track. There are several sessions here that they really reflect how medical affairs has been evolving. One that caught my eye is called Insights 2.0, the cross-functional frontier.
Ooh, I like that title. And it does tell you something, in my opinion. I think that it's been one of my big things over the years as well too. It's something that's really important, right? Insights are really used, or they used to be viewed rather as something that we just collected as a medical affairs organization. But now, even thinking about this is how are we treating this? The example of a field team being a scientific bridge. Like, how can we leverage insights to be a scientific bridge to our internal stakeholders within the organization? So whether it's medical, commercial, market access, R&D, insights really are becoming the connective link between these groups. So I think that will be a really interesting one. I would love to get some feedback on how that one goes, Mary, if you end up going to that, or if our listeners go, would love to hear from you as well too, what your thoughts are.
Yes.
Another interesting one is the Launch Excellence Sprint session. It's a focus on the MAPS Launch Excellence standards. That's another one I would love to be a part of.
Okay, so I actually have a question on this, and I thought
Okay.
maybe you can advise. So how are you seeing launch excellence evolve? I mean, you've been a part of a lot of launches, pre-launches. Like it doesn't seem like it's a single event anymore, and it's like it's not even. I mean, you say sprint, but it's like almost seems like it's a marathon. I mean,
Yeah, it is. I think it's evolving, and it really does go back in many ways. And again, I'm speaking from the medical affairs point of view, right? So I think launches in the past, really from an excellence, used to be really program or functional focus, project management. And of course, you need a project manager to help facilitate all of those, the different functions, of course. But I mean, there are organizations now that even start in drug development as far as bringing different functions together to say, okay, I think we can make this, but what is the impact going to be? How are we going to position this? What does this look like in the marketplace? So you're bringing all of these things together, number one. But it's moved beyond just the pre-launch and the year leading up to something. I mean, you actually have organizations as well that will continue to have post-launch events, watch outs, how are things trending, weekly meetings of leadership teams to be able to make these pivots, et cetera. So to your point, it's not just a one and done, let's check off things. It is, let's check off the first page, and now let's transition to the second page to how this actually is more of a full life cycle management. That's how I would think of it. It's like a life cycle management project. But the launch season is no longer just 6 months or a year prior. It is that, and then it's 2 years beyond as well too, right? So I'm curious what this, it is sprinting a marathon in many ways, right? So I think it's an really interesting title for that session.
Yeah, you're in luck. It's on my list. I'll take notes and I'll share.
Love it.
A little bit later on, there's a session that they have, and I love the way, first of all, the way they've titled all of these are like really intriguing. So there's another session that's called Living Your North Star. I like referring to things as your North Star anyway. One size doesn't fit all when it comes to medical affairs value.
Makes me step back and think that it really is. It goes back to being a strategic pillar, right? I think you see the profession overall just really taking a pause and asking really that fundamental question is, how do we define and measure value? I know this comes up from a metric component all the time, but I think it's even bigger than that, right? So really cool session. I like the name of that title.
Yeah, me too. So then there's another session. I actually have this one highlighted too. And so it is called The Future of Medical Business Reviews. And that one's being led by Kimberly Portland and Gunjan Srivastava. So I want to read you the description.
Okay. All right.
Like what this session is going to sound like. So I'm excited to go to this one. So it starts with this. It says, medical affairs is entering a transformative third era, evolving from a function that centered on scientific expertise and stakeholder engagement to a strategic healthcare integrator.
Theme is really pretty clear here, I think, Mary.
Yep. So, like you've always said, medical affairs is getting into a much more strategic role.
I am curious, though, the third era. So did we skip an era from the scientific expertise and stakeholder engagement, the second era? Is that what we're thinking, or what do you think?
I don't know. It's, you got to go to find out, right?
That's a teaser, I guess, as well. Yeah. I think integrated, that's so, it really is, right? I mean, I think about all the different aspects that the field specifically touches, right? The different, and it could be payers, it could be health economics at different IDNs, those types. I mean, it just really is. It's thinking holistically about healthcare in general and how medical affairs can leverage their expertise to really make a difference for patients and ultimately the patients, right? But the business as well too. So I'll make sure I said those right. So transitioning, so track 2. So it is, let's see here, scientific and technical knowledge. So let's get into some of that specific track. There are so many diverse directions really that you can delve into, from real world evidence generation, the secrets of clinical trial statistics. I don't think I would be great at that, to be honest with you. I don't know if that would be one that would be fascinating to me. I have got some colleagues that would love it. It looks like it might be a cool workshop for some. I think maybe I could utilize that though, because that's one of those areas that I may feel a little less comfortable in. So I think that might actually, no, I just talked myself into it. So, but
Okay.
that said, which one jumps out to you?
Oh, definitely the rare disease registries.
Mm,
Because, like rare disease
yeah,
is like my space that I love to work in the most.
yeah.
Um, and as I kind of read the description on this, it's so rare disease. That's like a new frontier in many ways. As things move along, we're trying to understand how we can better adapt things that we have already for rare disease. So this is another one that's sort of workshop style, and just for anybody who's in a workshop with me, um, I I feel like I learned so much more being down in the trenches with you guys. But yeah, that one's. I think I have that one's definitely on my list. Plus, I know the guy who's leading it.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and I actually placed him at the company he's at, and
Humble
gosh, over
brag,
10 years
humble
ago,
brag,
maybe.
humble
Well, no,
brag.
no,
It's
I mean,
okay.
it's, like the proud mama thing where,
I'm
you place
proud.
someone somewhere
I'm
and you
just
watch them grow and
joking.
develop in their career. And he's like at a senior director level now. And so I'm really
Listen,
excited
it's
to
great.
go.
It's great to surround yourself with good people as well too. And I mean,
He
to
is a
take
good
pride in that.
person.
I was just giving you a hard time. So,
I know.
yeah,
That's
as
what you
far
do.
as that's my job on this
It's your
on
job.
this. It's been my job with you for years now, Mary. Let's be
Hmm.
honest.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, rare disease registries, they really are the linchpin as we're thinking about trying to bring or to serve trying to serve underserved patients. When you have, I don't know, you could have a population of patients, there might be 300 or 600 in the US, right? How do you power? I mean, you just can't follow the same, companies can't follow the same models that you would in a traditional clinical trials. You need to do it against natural history studies and all of these types of
Ugh.
things. And all of these are geared by these registries and really powered by those, and they need to be amplified to really, as we're thinking about the next generation. I mean, the FDA is even making some adjustments now, right, as to supporting the rare disease community. So I think this is a really a great topic that I would love to be a part of. I've been in rare disease now for the past 5 or 6 years, and
Hmm.
it's been great. So I love being able to speak up for those that don't have the voice, and so this is definitely going to be one of interest. Um, so we've talked about what the scientific knowledge. We've talked a little bit about AI. What about the track 3?
Yeah.
So that is what that is
Business knowledge.
business knowledge. All right.
Yeah.
So
So let's
tell
move
us
over
about that,
there.
Mary. Yeah, tell me.
Okay. So there's, one of the things I found kind of interesting is the business knowledge track. They don't have a session in every single block. So,
Huh?
um, which I guess it's okay. But
Yeah.
I have one that I put a heart on. I'm
You
so
hearted?
excited to go to it. Um,
Do you have
but
scratch and sniff? Do you have like the smelly pins and things too? That
no, these don't
okay.
smell. They just smell like
What about
ink.
the multi-click pin, like the different colors? Do you have one of those?
Are you kidding? Oh, I
Mm.
can't show it to you right now. I have a whole bag that I order off Amazon, and they've got like 6 different colors on 'em. Oh, yeah, I
Okay.
love those pens. Oh, wait,
Okay. All right.
you shouldn't have asked.
If only they make them in gel point, I'd be
No,
sold. But
I hate gel
anyway, all
point
right.
pens.
So back to the business knowledge. So educate me a
Okay.
little bit more. What was the session you were talking about?
So this one is called The Business of Pharmaceuticals, Understanding Pharma's Business Realities to Unlock the Value of Medical Affairs. Dun, dun, dun. Doesn't that sound awesome?
Ooh. Dun, dun,
Yeah, I can't
dun.
wait for that
That's
one.
really cool. That's
Yeah.
really cool. Yeah. I mean, I was just thinking about like even if I were hiring, what would be a skill set that would set people apart? I mean, you always hear me talking about EQ, IQ. EQ is just as important, if not IQ, but it's even from a background, right? So you're starting to see specifically like in pharmacy, or pharmacists will come back with MBAs as well too. I mean, I think that is a unique way to set yourself apart, because you need these types of tools. And then I would even say, how do you even communicate some of these things? I think there was a session on how to build business cases for medical affairs. Is that right?
Oh yeah, that's another one I've got. Like it's which day is that one? Oh, that's the next day. That's day 2. Okay,
Okay.
so that one is like the description of that one is um to learn the business tools you need to convince your management team to
Mm.
invest in your idea, which is kind of cool. It's almost like a Shark Tank thing. I don't know. Maybe they'll do it like that, but I think that one's going to be really interesting.
It's always hard for people. Why is it, Mary? I mean, well, I know why it is, I think, but medical affairs have oftentimes have difficulty making a shift to be able to communicate to executive leaders, to those that really have a background in commercial or sales and could sell, ice to Eskimos.
Right.
And so how do you develop that type of skill set, the language to be able to communicate your why in a succinct way? Something I still need to grow in, to be honest with you. I think everyone could use this, really, regardless of whatever role it is, right? It's how you manage your manager, if you would. That's another way to even view it. So, that seems like a really interesting one. I think if that's a track that I would prioritize out of all of these that we've talked about so far.
Yeah, yeah. Knowing you, like I know that you're going to be bummed you're going to miss that one.
Well,
I mean, there's several others in
yeah.
the business knowledge track. I think I actually have almost all of them highlighted. And
Okay.
to be honest, on day 3, I think we'll get to that. But I'm trying to figure out how I can clone myself so I can go to like 4 sessions at the same time. But we'll get to that.
Thank God there's only one of you, Mary. Anyway, so what what do we talk about now? What other tracks do you want to talk about? Is there any other? Is there anything else on that particular one you want to talk about?
I could talk all day about that one, but I mean, I
Yeah,
think
you
we talked
could.
about the 2 that I'm kind of most excited about in that track.
Okay. All right.
But I'd like to skip over to the customer engagement and scientific communication. I
Oh,
think I
okay.
feel like this is the track that's getting down to the nitty gritty. Customer engagement, scientific communication.
So again, this is where AI shows up again. You think about the very first track we were talking about, AI medical affairs. So this is a debate between the early adopter and the cautious skeptic that we were referring to.
This one is literally on the top of my list.
Yep.
So I mean, it got it highlighted with a little AI on it. Okay,
Who
so
doesn't like a debate, right? I mean, I think
no,
that those are the
seriously,
best. Those are the
and
best.
it's set up as a literal debate. So one of
Yeah,
the panelists is going to be an early adopter, and then the other one is going to be the cautious skeptic. I think it's going to be really cool.
that'd be great.
Definitely not one that I plan to miss. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to get to this session
Okay.
early to make sure I get a seat, because if I try to walk in or like right at 11:15, or I won't have a seat. So I'll be sitting in there at about 11:05 with my seat.
And your snacks and all that kind of stuff.
Eleven
What
fifteen, maybe.
what
Let's see if
kind
I
of
could
purse you
pour me
bring?
another one of
Yeah,
these
yeah,
screen
yeah.
cleaners too.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I
Hmm.
appreciate you sending me one in advance. Thanks in advance. So there's
Yes, you're welcome.
also looking here. There's also a session on applying behavioral science to elevate field medical engagements.
Yes.
Sounds pretty interesting.
Well, I mean, I think it probably goes into a lot of like the storytelling stuff that we'll probably get to too, but to also, but
Tutu,
too. But
you
so
know.
I mean, understanding who your audience is, being able to sort of
Mhm.
evaluate who you're meeting with so that you know that you're speaking in their language,
Yeah.
their the way they like to receive information. So I'm excited about this. And I think this is something also that I can apply in training my team, because I mean, we do the same thing. We're communicators. And so yeah. but this is the one I think I told you before. This is like my day one nightmare because I do have almost every session highlighted
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
that block.
It's
So
a lot. Bring your walking shoes or your running shoes.
yeah,
Uh, uh, I would probably have my tennis shoes versus my boots that day. In full disclosure, to be able to make it around.
I don't believe
Um,
it.
I do. Listen, I've kind of made a shift a little bit. I'm versatile,
Okay.
and I'm getting old. I'm 50 years old now. I'm
God,
not
I
as young
can't
as I used to
imagine
be. I know. I
being
know. I
50.
know. I finally caught up to my hair. I think that session reminds me. I wonder if it's similar to the Social Styles Handbook, right? So,
I thought about that actually.
yeah, I think that shout out to Michael Bradley, who introduced me to that book. It's really helpful. Um, there's another interesting one, and let's see, it gets us back into AI. So it's unlocking influence, the role of executive presence in scientific storytelling. So again, um, it's a very captivating title.
Yeah. I've got that one marked down too. So Fatima Ahmed is leading that one. And
Okay.
there is AI integrated into this one, even though it's not in the title. So kind of the rise in training on effective storytelling is genius in my opinion. Um,
Mm.
you know, I just thinking back to my dad's generation, it's just like you serve it in this and you take it how I serve it, whatever it is. So learning to be adaptable given your audience, I think is making all the difference.
It is. So, Mary, I think we've all right, I'm sharing this with any potential MSLs out there that are, or aspiring MSLs. I think those, reflecting back when the hiring process, those that can start a presentation that you have to do as part of a finalist presentation, to start with the story and start why it matters to you, is something that really grips the people that you're engaging as well too. So when I think about storytelling and the impact that it can make, it really taps into the emotions that we all have, right? So maybe there might be a stickler, one or two that are in there, but I mean, that's bah humbug anyways. But I think overall, I mean, it really, um, doing it in an authentic way, it's okay to share some of those things from a personal standpoint
Mhm.
of why it matters to you. Um, People will really value and respect you. I would even say too, of, hey, this person is being sincere, and this is why they're passionate about what it is that they're talking about. So, it's a great thing. I'm so glad that they're prioritizing a storytelling session. That's really good. And you can leverage AI to be able to help that too. So, right. So I think, can help really accelerate that whole process and really transform things. So, all right, so this one kind of stood out, and me and my neurodivergent. What is the right word? I'm not sure. ADHD. This one
Squirrel.
was really funny. Do you want to guess what it is?
Okay. It's got to be the TikTok one.
Exactly. Gen TikTok versus Gen PubMed. I can't even keep a straight face on this.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's going to be a really interesting shift and dynamic. Because like this session is like about trying to adapt to this new generation of physicians and KOLs, right? The Gen
Yeah.
Zs, who I don't even want to think about how old they are or what year they were born or
Digital
um
opinion leaders are really going to shine with this stuff, right? I mean, we've talked about them for years and what they are, but I mean, this is going to be an interesting. I'm curious if that's even part of this conversation as well, too. Um,
um well, there is actually a session called From KOLs to DOLs to VOLs. Um,
ooh.
who will shape the future of medical affairs? And
And how
so
do you engage with these? I think that that's even more of a fascinating conversation as well, too, right? I
I
mean,
know.
is that, I mean, we talk about face to face, we talk about virtual now. I mean, what are we thinking about, and what's appropriate to engage, even from a social media standpoint, and like what are the boundaries of that? What can we do? What shouldn't we do? Um, Fascinating. Would be good. Would be
Yeah,
good.
I mean, I know we touched on it a little bit when we had Tanisha on, um, and
Yeah.
I think that can be like an hours long conversation about how to
Yeah.
adapt to that.
Yeah. All right. So one, I think that obviously from an MSL lead standpoint, I wouldn't have put it as track 6. But that's what it is. It's listed as that. It's leadership, and I would have put it as number 1, of
Mm,
course.
second.
But there's several different things that are there, from charting your course in medical affairs, being a multiplier. I mean, I think that's the essence of leadership. So playing bigger, elevating leadership, and impacting at every level. We talk about that all the time. That would be a great one to be a part of. Let's see, what are
Big
other ones?
surprise, AI
Yeah,
in action,
there you go.
an AI session. How
How
about that?
how do they learn? Interesting. Yes, I think that's um, my daughter is a freshman in college, and one of the things I got her as she was going in is Study Fetch, and that is an amazing resource, right? So you can upload things, it can make quizzes, it can turn it into a podcast, it can
A
adjust the
video
level of
game.
things. I mean, it's unreal,
Yeah,
right? So how do we
yeah,
leverage this within industry as well too?
yeah.
Because we all have different learning styles. So yeah, there's several different ones within the leadership course. I do think the one, executive communication skills, not just for top leaders and executives, I think that's really important. Um, Seeing how, one example is creating insight reports, and then MSLs being able to share those with leadership. You communicate those things. It should be communicated differently than what you were informing your team as far as what the key learnings were, right? So learning how to navigate those and reading body language, I think is really important. So I think that's another one that really kind of sticks out to me. So
I'd also mention that if you are positioning yourself to move into a leadership role at some point, I think those are ways to demonstrate,
yep,
your capacity for that, or that you are somebody that even if you haven't raised your hand yet, that they should be keeping their eye on for
yeah.
those kind of opportunities. So
You're
absolutely.
giving them breadcrumbs, right,
Hmm.
to come to a natural conclusion.
Yep.
So really, really good point, Mary. All right. So I think there's one other track we were going to highlight. I'm going to actually give that to you on this one to tee it up.
All right. So again, AI, like we were just talking about, and it shows up multiple times in this compliance track. Shocker.
Yeah.
Um, so where do I even start? Like,
Well, so I can tell you that there's one that sticks out to me, because
okay.
I know the one that's actually leading this conversation, because I just worked with him in a
Oh,
previous role. So it's around how AI, how it can help bridge the compliance divide between commercial or medical and commercial. Um, Chipin Zhao is going to be leading that. Chipin is a fantastic resource. I worked hand in hand with him as we were building an insight tool. We were integrating that into the company. He really helped me. Um, he put application to the ideas that I had about being able to
oh,
demonstrate medical affairs value. So Chipin, wish I could be there, but supporting you virtually from afar. Um, And then there's also a session about implementing FDA's SIU guidance at medical congresses. It's the fact that the FDA has finalized its guidance on how scientific information on unapproved uses um, can factor in. And now we're in the age of, here we are, AI
mm,
again. How can we integrate those and utilize these tools, AI enabled tools, to understand things like, I don't know, tracking engagements. Beyond that, though, the use of digital platforms, like how can we think about this from an omni-channel type of perspective to deliver content. I mean, the reality is MSL teams or field teams, publications, we have to think beyond that. Those are limited resources. How do we leverage and maximize that and really provide patients personalized experiences um, uh, and staying compliant? So I had to throw that out there as well.
So that's interesting. So like we're talking about off-label unapproved uses, whatever. It's just occurred to me. So back in the olden days, these
Yes,
these would be
Mary.
live these would be live conversations, like a KOL interaction, or if a KOL came up to a booth and wanted to talk to you at a congress. Um, but if any of these things start becoming, I guess, running through like the digital channels, then they become documented.
Yep.
And so I guess compliance or lack thereof is very easy to find.
Oh yeah. I mean, this is one that will likely meet the greatest resistance, I think, of people embracing or wanting to embrace, at least as far as our compliance partners. I think that there will definitely be some hesitation, or what's out there will be probably very limited at first, just kind of to test the waters. But I mean, again, that's all conjecture. Not really sure what that conversation is gonna be like. So, you think about that in particular, right? It's a intersection of FDA guidance, the regulatory guidance, which is really pretty. There's a lot of room for interpretation in many ways, right? Because it doesn't
Yeah.
address every single thing. It only addresses when people screw up a lot of times, right? Than it is about, hey, here's something you can do. It's like, this is what you can't. And so, are you a risk averse or risk tolerant organization? But it's a blend of that. It's AI adoption, how we integrate that, digital, and then really, how does this support the overarching scientific engagement or exchange strategy? So, another great topic. I mean, there's so many times Congresses, by the time they get to the last day, it's like, I mean, these are just kind of, the ones that really just weren't hot and they weren't really going to make that much of an impact. But looking at this, I mean, it just seems like this is chock full. It's going to be it truly is an opportunity to maximize a lot of learning,
Mhm.
plus continue to network in the medical affairs community. So it looks like it's going to be a really good conference.
Oh yeah. I can't wait. And sometimes, people have to head out like before the last session.
Yeah.
And again, that's another one where I have like five of them highlighted, highlight,
Highlight, highlight.
whatever it is. Um,
Just make up your
eh,
own words, Mary.
okay, I do that
It's
anyway.
fine.
That's why
I
they used
know.
to call me Roger in high school because I
Oh,
made up words all the time, like thesaurus did.
okay. All right.
Yeah,
Well, just as long as you say it with confidence, it doesn't really matter, does it?
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactamundo.
Yeah.
Um, but there's I would not want to leave early. I mean, some of
Yeah.
the best ones are here at the end. So
If you're
plan
booking it,
accordingly, people.
if you booked your flight to head out early that morning, I would recommend trying to see if you can push it back a little bit, just so you can catch these. I think it will be worth it. I hate again that I'm not going to get to be a part of this, Mary, but I can't wait to learn from you and others, our listeners, feedback on how things go, what stands out to you the most, and what we can even expand on here on the show. Again, our role and our mission is to really make inform leaders and develop leaders, because we learn from one another instead of trying to figure this all out on our own. This is a safe place for us to have casual conversation about a variety of topics. So,
Yeah.
safe travels to those heading there here in a couple of weeks on that. Can't wait to hear feedback from you. I've enjoyed this, Mary.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking kind of a sidestep to review this. It's been really good.
Yeah. We'll have to look at the times because these are mountain time. If you have a break in the action, Like on your lunch hour, I could FaceTime you in on one of the sessions.
Ah,
Technology.
that's true. That's
Mhm.
true.
I
Very
doubt
good
it
point.
though, because you'll
I
be
know.
working.
I know.
But
I
and
know.
it's all
Hard
in
at
the middle
work.
of the week, no weekends. So
Hard at work. Hard at work.
mhm.
So,
Exactly.
well, if you listeners feel free to, Mary's going to be there. Be sure to stop by and say hello and share your thoughts and feedback on how we can serve you better. That's our mission here. So
Mhm.
until then, have a great week. Lead well in whatever role that you're in, and we will talk next time.